Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. This is my final Christmas shop. So it is the 22nd of December, so if you want to see what I picked up for Christmas Day, of which I am hosting, then keep watching. Whew, so let's get cracking. This is what I look like in the run up to Christmas when all I've done all day is wrap and clean and organise and that kind of thing. I am washed and clean and my hair is air dried, but I am aware I look a little bit like a slob, but that is what the holidays are for, my friend. Also, as per the CMA guidelines, I'm required to tell you that I have worked with Tesco in the past, but obviously this has been bought with our own money because it's our Christmas shop. Now, as you are probably already aware if you're a regular viewer, I'm hosting this year for 11 of us. So there's us 5, my mum and dad, James and Nikki, and my grandma and gramps. And I'm very excited about that, but also very nervous. And I have a few bits planned already, which I'll kind of talk you through as I go along, like the turkey I'm getting from the butchers, the gravy I've already made. I'm going to do a bit of prep, like Christmas Eve is going to be my main day for that. And tomorrow I think I'm going to make the dessert, or one of the desserts anyway. But I'll run you through everything. You can see what we've picked up. It's a lot, but then as I've been talking to my friends about this, you always find that, you know, those big shops that you do for Christmas or birthdays and like parties and stuff, they always seem like huge shops, and then you go into the cupboards afterwards and you're like, where is everything? Like, because it's all just goes on that big day, isn't it? But yeah, I will run you through it from just earlier today, and then I will go through like our plan feed-wise at the end. Okay, so this is everything for Christmas. So as a bit of background, you know that I am hosting for my family. There's going to be 11 of us. It's the first time I've done it on such a big scale because of like COVID, and you know, it's never really been my proper turn up until now. So I've tried to arrange it as best I can in like order of Christmas days. That all the stuff here is like Christmas Day or particularly festive stuff. And then over on the back are like extras and other things, and I'll kind of talk you through it. I hope that's okay and it makes sense. And just remember, this is what we're doing. Everybody does things differently, and I only share these because I'm always asked for grocery hauls, and I know that some of you find them useful. So let's start with Christmas Day. So on the morning, I am paring it back purely because I have not got the capacity to make anything fancy for breakfast as well as do a Christmas dinner for, you know, 11 people for the first time. I'm a bit nervous. I think that's okay to say. So we've got apple juice and orange juice because you just gotta. We did pick up some Bucks Fizz, which is like in the garage at the moment because it's freezing in there. So we've got that in for me and Mark if we fancy it. I got Mark some Philadelphia, some smoked salmon and bagels because it's quite a festive breakfast. People always seem to have it. And he loves smoked salmon. And obviously if the kids fancy some too, there is plenty there. But we also have sausages, we've got bacon, we've got bread, extra bagels, and then we've got these prep croissants, which I really like because you can keep them in the freezer and take them out as and when you want them. So you don't have to make a big batch and all in one go. So I definitely won't be having a croissant because I'm not really a sweet breakfast kind of person, but it might be that this spreads the kids across 2 days because there's 6 in there, and then they can have a bacon butty as well if they want one. And then in terms of Christmas dinner, I'm not sure quite on timings yet of when we're going to do it because it will obviously depend on what everybody prefers, but I'm thinking it will be at some point between like 1 and 3, but I am going to ask. But when everybody arrives, I've got this little tapas platter. It's £4 for all of this, but it's quite a nice one to put out with some cocktail sticks and just let people pick at it. And then I've gone for the classic British dip quad. I feel like this has been such a big staple of my childhood and Christmases and the festive season for years and years, for family buffets to like all sorts, that this classic dip pack that every supermarket does has featured so many times throughout the years. And I've got a breadstick selection, and I'm also going to do and the recipe is on like my Instagram reels and on here as a short as well, well, I did camembert, parma ham and cranberry sauce, but I got a little brie this time because we are having a lot of cheese later, and I just thought this would be a bit like of a better size because it's slightly smaller, and it would work with any like soft cheese that is and melts and stuff, so it's always an option. But it's a great one to do. It's very, very easy as well. And yeah, so I'm going to have those ready to put in the oven, and then people can like nibble, and like, because I'm aware it's a festive time and I don't want everyone getting too like tipsy, if you know what I mean. Then on to the starters. This looks a bit basic at the moment, but some of the items I have already brought in because they last longer, or I have had support from like family, because my family are amazing. We all tend to, when people host, we're always like, what can we bring? Can we bring something? Can we supply something? This, that and the other. So my grandma has got some prawns and Mary Ray sauce, cook and do prawn cocktail. So I've got iceberg, tomatoes, I've got lemons over there also for that, but also for drinks. And I've got cucumber already in because there was no cucumber available on the Tesco website when I did my order. So I pre-bought that in advance from Waitrose, which is nearby, just because it would be easier, and then I knew that I had it in. And then, so that's one starter with some wholemeal bread and butter. And then I'm going to do melon and parma ham because the kids love that. One of these parma hams will probably, I've got 3 packs here, sorry. One of these will probably go with that. Good catch there, Shah. To do the puff pastry thingies that I'm going to make. And then I've also got 2 pâtés from Morrison's. I already have a red onion chutney in as well. And what else was I going to say? I'm going to make some Melba toast. So Melba toast, it's actually really simple to make. What I would recommend is getting like a toasty version of bread because they are thicker. And what you want to do is pop it in your toaster and lightly toast it, right? Just so it's firm. And then what I do, once it's come out, I'll cut the crust off, and then you slide a bread knife downwards, so down like this. And it should come apart quite easily because each side is quite firm already from being lightly toasted. Then you put those 2 halves back in the toaster in individual slots, and you get Melba toast, which is super, super crispy, and it kind of curls a little bit, and it's fantastic with pâté. You can make that a little bit in advance as well, just keep it covered so it doesn't go soft and stuff. But I'm going to make that with this loaf, and then that is for obviously the prawn cocktail. But anything that's left over is great for making, you know, like butties with leftovers and stuff, which is quite exciting because I'm hosting. Look at the mess over there. That's me trying to finish off wrapping. We get loads of leftovers in, which is fantastic. So now on to the main event. Things that are missing from here: the turkey, which I've ordered from the butchers. I wanted to go local and I wanted to do something special, so I've ordered a turkey crown that will feed us all, plus leftovers, which is covered in bacon. I've already made my Jamie Oliver get ahead gravy, and I'm going to pre-make some Yorkshire puddings and stick those in the freezer, so I'll just finish them off on the day. I know that they're not like typical Christmas dinner, however, my dad's from Barnsley, and if that's not relevant enough, Yorkshire puddings are the shit, basically. They're amazing, so I have to have those. And then what else is missing? We've already got pigs and blankets, which was a donation from my mum. I put those in the freezer. We already have stuffing that was a donation from my mum, so I put those in the fridge because the date is fine on them. And then this is everything else. So I've got carrots. I've got 2 bags here because I know that the bags of carrots tend to come like quite well stocked, unlike parsnips, so this will be plenty. And again, if there is leftovers, that's great because they can be put into dips and stuff as well, like, you know, it's like a snack. And you know, health, we'll eat lots of vegetables when we can. We will try. I've got 2 big bags of potatoes. I'm a bit nervous that I should have maybe got more. I don't know yet, but we will see. It's not like I won't be able to find potatoes, but I'm going to do mash and roasters. So I've got rosemary and garlic. I'm going to do a rosemary garlic butter. So I've got rosemary, garlic, and then I also have parsley as well to add to things like this. So I'm going to parboil my roast potatoes. I'm obviously then going to roast them in goose fat, which I've already got. And then I'm going to make a rosemary garlic butter with lots of salt, black pepper, anything that I fancy adding in. And I'm going to stir that through at the end, and what that does is that it enables you to have a truly, truly crispy roast potato, but with the best flavourings possible, because you're not burning the rosemary or the garlic in the oven for too long. So I'm going to chop this really finely. crush the garlic, mix it through the butter, really heavy with the seasoning, make sure that everything tastes really good, and then you mix that through at the end. You can prep that a couple of days before and it will keep in the fridge just fine. I would really recommend doing it because butter also adds a lot of flavour, and it also means that you can like kind of drain them off from the goose fat as well, leave them slightly, you know, to cool down, mix the butter through and then serve. I got broccoli, not always a traditional one, but my children really like it and I want them to eat some vegetables, so I've got 3 heads. Will I do all 3? Not sure, we'll see how we get on the day, but we eat broccoli with loads of things, so and it's so cheap. That's one thing I wanted to say about Tesco. These carrots were like 14p, the potatoes were like 30 something p, the sprouts were like, I swear the sprouts and the carrots and the parsnips were all like under 20p. It was crazy, and I was so grateful for that because obviously I bought a lot. So yeah, that is those. I've got 3 packs of sprouts, which were actually more than anticipated, but fun fact, I'm obsessed with these. I love sprouts, like as in the minute they're in season and available in the shops more, I will eat them. I've been eating them for months now and I just think they're beautiful. I've got some truffle pancetta to go through them with some chestnuts, which I've already got in the vacuum pack merchant gourmet ones that you can get everywhere, and they're still on offer, I noticed, on the Tesco website if you've not done any shopping yet. So I'm going to do those, and I am praying that there's extras because and leftovers because I just love them. I've got 3 packs of parsnips because if you look at the comparison between how many you get in a bag of parsnips versus how many you get in a bag of carrots, you definitely need more than just a couple, and hopefully that will be enough. Mark is obsessed with parsnips, so I've got to do a good job on those. Then I've got 2 packs of leeks to do some creamy leeks, just to add a bit of like creaminess and richness in there, as if there wasn't enough already. The parsley, as I say, is just a great herb to have in for like garnishes, freshening things up. It just makes everything look a bit more fancy. I've got 2 packs of grapes, as you'll have seen from my last haul, which was actually filmed last week, but I'm just a bit behind with uploading them. I got the Thomas Fudge's crackers. I do already have chutney. I do have like pickled onions for later on as well. And my brother is also supplying some extra cheese. I got some cheese from the Snowdonia Cheese Company, like Black Bomber and all of that, because that is typical of what my family will normally have and have had throughout the years. And I'm trying to sort of live up to their, you know, standards, because they always do such a good job. Along with the pickled onions, I've got applesauce, I've already got cranberry sauce, I've already got, what else? I can't remember. Chutney, I already said that. And then I've got some whole grain mustard and Dijon mustard. But the only thing that I've not got yet is bread sauce, which I think I'm going to try and get from Waitrose. My mum loves it. Sorry, mum, but I think it's rank. But I've got to get that in for her because everybody's got their own things that make it special. And I just need to have them to make it special. The sour cream and the cream. Well, actually, the sour cream is for my Nigella Guinness cake that I'm going to do as a side. I've got custard for the Christmas puddings that my grandma supplied. We've only got a few of them because not everybody likes them, so the rest of us will be having cake. And then obviously we have boxes of chocolates, we've got biscuits, we've got nibbles, we've got all sorts in my Christmas cupboard, and then obviously there's going to be cheese as well. I have pork already in for the cheese, for like, it's mainly my dad and Gramps, so I love that, and I really like cheese as well. And then cream as well is another option to have with like stuff, or just cream is just so good to have in for like sauces and like adding to things, and I just like to have a tub of cream in the house a lot anyway. Lemon and limes over there, as I've already discussed with you. And then drinks wise, we've got some pink lemonade. Schlur was on offer at Tesco for like £1.24 a bottle, so I got that for the kids because they pretend it's wine, and that's dead funny. Chambord IPA, I Mark bought them, I don't know what they are, beer. And then I've got 2 Prosecco's. But what I will say, if you are after getting some affordable booze, or like, you know, especially like the branded stuff, because Aldi obviously is great, but if you go to Morrison's at the moment, they have some serious bargains, like a whole bottle of Baileys for like a tenner. They have Prosecco that's actually really nice. So I've tried it for £5. So it's really worth going there, because Mark went there before to get some like bits that he wanted to get that weren't available like on Tesco and stuff, and I asked him to get me more of that Prosecco because it was a lot cheaper, and it just means then that we don't have to like nip out in between Christmas and New Year. So that is kind of all the Christmas Day stuff, and then over here is just like random bits. So we have Mark added, like I told you, like matchmakers, he clearly has a problem because I bought some already and he's gone and added more to the shop, but he obviously doesn't want to like miss out on the opportunity to eat a pack a day or something like that. So he can do that though. His metabolism is like fire, whereas mine's just dead. So he got those. Got 2 packs of Pringles because they're just handy to have in and they were on offer. I have some salsa because we already have some tortilla chips in, and I'm just thinking of those I'm hungry but nobody can be bothered to cook moments. I got tiger bread because this was lovely last week, and you know what, it stayed so soft for ages and was just so tasty. So I got that just as our bread this week, because obviously the other bread is like Christmas Day and you're not allowed to touch it. It's such a mum thing, isn't it? I got bananas, 2 packs of strawberries, chestnut mushrooms to have in. For pasta, I love a mushroom pasta at the moment, or just adding stuff and like meals in between the week. I have satsumas, but I'm a bit gutted because that one looks like it's been infected by a monster. And I've got blueberries and raspberries. Got 4 tins of baked beans because we all know that beans on toast is a saviour. Got my Alpro barista coconut milk. And then this is all the stuff to kind of like, oh, sorry, I nearly dropped the camera, tide us through a bit and like different meal ideas. So we have some noodles. I've got the mi goreng spicy ones for me and Mark. We've got the chicken ones for the kids. We've got tubes for the kids, mini pepperonis for the kids, pasta because you can make a pasta out of anything these days, garlic baguettes because again goes to pasta. We do have a bit more pasta in, but generally when we have a meal of pasta as a family, 1 bag is kind of gone in one sitting. I got fruit slurpees. I've got squash for the kids as well, and mozzarella and cheese mix. I pretty much always have this in my shops as well, you know. I got pizzas to just stick in. I got some, where is it? I got some pizza dough as well because we have another one of these, and sometimes it's a nice activity to do with the kids to make your own pizza. Pancetta, I've got some pork apple and cranberry pigs and blankets just because we all love eating them. I got an extra bacon for other sandwiches. I got some sausage meat to make sausage rolls with. I already have the crust pastry, and I've got grana padano cheese as well. And like what I'm going to do in between Christmas and New Year is that I'm not going to plan so much. I'm just going to use up what we have. I'm going to try and work around what leftovers we've got, what plans we have with family, because as you know as well as I do, things can get very like impromptu, and I don't want to buy a load of food that I end up not wanting to cook because it's Christmas, like, you know, not having time to cook because we've made like last minute plans, this, that and the other. So these are all things that I just find will like pull stuff that I already have in together. Like say I already have some onions left in, obviously we've got bits that we can use from the rest of the meals. We have like rice, we've got the noodles and pasta, we've got a bit more pasta than that in, and I'm just gonna think on my feet, because I find that I've done it before where I've tried to plan meal plans and actually we don't even fancy what there is anyway because we're in a state of indulgence, or maybe even indulgence, or maybe we've eaten too much and we just want something fresher. So I want to just use stuff up, and that is my plan. But I will go quickly through the meal plan now and give you a bit more like info on what we're doing in case that helps. I also forgot to mention these weren't actually, this isn't from Tesco, it's from Morrison's, but make sure if you haven't already, get your cling film stocked up and your foil and this, that and the other. And these trays I can really recommend. So I've got some larger ones with lids so you can send leftovers away with people, or also save them, freeze them, which is never a bad thing. And we've got like the smaller ones as well, and then I've got some larger ones just to prevent too much pressure after or on Christmas Day to like wash up and sort things out. Like I want to enjoy it too. It's not something I would normally use, but for Christmas Day I've made my peace with that. So I have some of these and I have some larger turkey ones as well, but if you've not already got them in, get them in. Make sure you've got some stuff in like that to make things easier for you. And then I'm starting to put together our like Christmas morning box. So I've got bin bags, scissors, I'm going to put my screwdriver in there, batteries, things like that, even my camera ready charged. So I've got it all ready to go to just pick up and then just enjoy the kids opening stuff, and I'm there not like having to rummage around in the garage or try and find out if we've got enough batteries. So I'd recommend doing that as well. But yeah, on to the meal plan. So shall we get talking about food and our plans and this, that and the other. So obviously today is, oh, it's already starting to get to that point where I can't remember what day it is. And today is Thursday. We just got a few bits in already that we've had in either in like the freezer and stuff, and we're just gonna have picky bits and nibble at things over the next couple of days. So we've got party food in and things like that. That's actually what the oven is on for at the moment, because I'm gonna stick that in a minute. So that's kind of how we're gonna play Thursday and Friday. Just relax and enjoy ourselves rather than having like a fixed routine all the time, because it just gets busier from now on in. Saturday is Christmas Eve, and what we actually do is save up our club card vouchers that we get. Obviously, like they total throughout the year, don't they? And we save those and put them towards our meals. So like when we went to Pizza Express with friends recently, we used some on that. And then we also, I've saved them for Christmas Eve, which is crazy because I don't know how it works. Like Mark's in charge of that, but they're either like double or triple what they're worth or something like that. So our Christmas Eve meal is kind of paid for because we've saved them, which is just like a relief. I would really suggest that you start doing it because it saves you so much money in the long run. And like obviously I have worked with Tesco in the past. That's just coming from a customer. It's not coming from anywhere else, because that's what we're doing. And then Christmas Day, as you'll already have seen in the video, kind of walk you through what we're eating. And yeah, I hope we've got enough in. I've got like nibbles and everything, and I'm really hopeful it's going to go well. Like I can cook, I love to cook, but I think it's just that pressure of wanting to make it perfect for everybody. I think the only thing that I need to really get now is possibly bread sauce. I think that's it. But isn't it horrible, that feeling? You know, when you get that cold sweat and you're like, oh, I've forgotten anything. But I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I'm hoping that we will have ample leftovers, because I love leftovers, and it's quite nice to get creative with them, like putting leftover turkey in a pie or making like turkey butties and, you know, like all the trimmings, and like adding a moist maker if you're a Friends fan. If you're not a Friends fan, it's going to sound really weird, but that's on you, not me. Monday, which is Boxing Day, normally we spend that at home and we just allow the children to play with their toys, because we find that if we're like going here, there and everywhere all the time, they're constantly leaving them behind and not really having the opportunity to have a good play, and it is about them as well. So that's what we normally do. But my grandparents, because I'm hosting, are like, we're just like, we really want to do something nice for you as a thank you. So we are actually going to theirs for a buffet in the afternoon, I think. So we'll just have a really lazy morning and play and set up toys and stuff, and then we'll mosey over there, have some food and drinks. And actually what's nice is that like my auntie and uncle and my cousins coming as well, so we'll all have an opportunity to get together and like spend time together, which will be lovely. And I think, fingers crossed, my nana and granddad are also coming to that as well, if like granddad feels up to it and stuff. So that would be really nice. The day after is when we go and see Mark's family. So you're going to see Mark's mum, Mark's sister, Mark's dad, and that would be really nice. Pat always does a lovely buffet. We get to like spend time with them, to have a catch up, a chat, and oh, it's lovely. And the only downside now is that because of how grown up our family are, we used to stay over when the kids were little, all in one bedroom, but that's when like Daisy and Bill were tiny and Stan was sleeping in a pop-up cot. But there's just not enough room for us to stay anymore unless we like got a hotel or something. So we're just gonna go like make a day trip of it, but we're lucky again that we won't need to like prep any food for that. And then for the rest of the week, as I said in the like actual haul part of the video, I just want to use stuff up. I don't want to be left with a load of like bits hanging around, especially into the new year, because I'm happy to indulge over Christmas. It's what it's for. It's nice to relax, nice to eat everything that you fancy and have a few drinks and this, that and the other with friends and family. But in the new year, I kind of want to be like free of that, because I normally crave it anyway. I normally crave to like move my body more, drink less, and like eat more fruit and veg. It's just sort of seems to be like a natural thing for me. So yeah, we're going to just use things up. We've got bits in to be able to be creative with stuff. So like I mentioned in the earlier part of the video, like pulses and stuff like pasta, rice, that kind of thing is always great to have in. I've got pizza dough in the freezer, so we can just make some pizza dough if we fancy doing that, or like all pizzas and stuff. There's always the temptation of a takeaway, but given how much like of a financial cost it is to like host and stuff, I'm trying to stay away from that. And then obviously New Year's will come around before we know it, because I don't really know. I'm gonna leave that open to interpretation, but I'm just excited now. I've just got to edit this. I've got another video to set live tomorrow, some like brand work one, and then yeah, we'll just have to see what happens after that. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If I don't get to wish you again, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a beautiful New Year. I hope that you are feeling loved and happy and safe, and you are looking forward to the festivities as much as I am. And yeah, thank you all for your company and your kindness and your support throughout 2022, because it means a lot to me. But yeah, take care of yourselves.